Hi, welcome back. So these are the contents to the Modern Sideboard #1. And we have the top and bottom that look very, very similar. But the top is larger than the bottom. That's how you tell those two apart. The fronts and sides, this is the back, this is the bottom, like I said. These are the lifts that they go on the bottom after everything is complete. And the included sandpaper. Now, my suggestion to you is if you intend to use a clear coat, a shellac or something on this kit, then I would sand any of the discoloration from the cutting process. You can do that just by using the included sandpaper. Okay, now that you've sanded this, and you can use a Q-tip to remove any of the dust that might go into these little grooves if you're trying to maintain the grooves, the color that they are. The next step is these are all cut into separate pieces because I wanted you to be able to install hinges if you wanted to, but it does not come with hinges. So our next step is going to be to just glue the front all together in one piece. So I'm just going to I use tacky glue, and I'm just going to go along the edges here in between and just glue all of that across there. Now that I put glue in between all of these, I can go ahead and remove some of the excess that's oozed out of the sides. And I want to just let this, once I'm happy with it, I want it to just sit and really set. So in the meantime, what I can do is I can go down here to this bottom piece, and I can go ahead and apply glue to the back side. Well, it's either of the sides will work as the back. And I can take the back here, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that right there like that. Okay. This is now we're looking down inside, and this is the bottom and this is the back. So I've just glued right along there, and I do want that to dry a little bit before I go to the next step. Okay, it's a little bit drier. So the next step is to hold this on its side, and I'm going to apply glue. This is moved a little bit. I'm going to apply glue to that kind of L shape that is formed, and I'm going to take my sides and I'm going to go ahead and place them to the outside and align them. And once I do the one side, get that on there, then I can come over and repeat for the second side. Okay, I have both of my sides on. At this point, inspect your piece and see if all of the pieces are completely square. And what I mean by this is just check to make sure you have nice, neat seams. Oop, that wasn't dry all the way. The back and the sides should be the same height, for instance. Everything should be square, because the next step is, now that this is dried, I can go ahead and apply glue to this edge right here, and I can glue the front on. Now, something you'll notice about the front is that is taller than these pieces here. This is taller, and that is because the top, it's to accommodate the top that we will put on next. So go ahead and apply glue to this and put the front on. So now that you have the front on, check to make sure that all of your edges are still square. And we want to go ahead and take the top piece, and we're just going to add glue along this lip. You can, if you want, also put a little glue on what would be this front side, and you're just going to place that down in there and glue that in. Okay, so now that the top is glued down, then we can go ahead and turn this upside down, and we're going to glue the lifts down. And so they go with their sides down, and we're going to glue, you know, here. Then these sides go inside as well. Right along here, we're going to glue, and gluing the other two pieces as well. So it has kind of a natural place to show you where to glue, and you'll want to glue this, the dark side, down. So what I'm talking about is right inside here, like that. So that helps to show you, and you just keep going all the way around. Okay, so that's what that looks like, and then basically that lift does just what the name says, and it lifts this piece up off of the ground a little bit to give it a little bit of depth. So that is the end of it, unless you're going to go ahead and you put a clear coat on this, or if you're going to paint it. My suggestion actually is to always put some kind of prep on it. With this kind of detail, the way that this is, which is, can still be cleaned up, a little bit of glue in it, you will want to seal this front if you're going to go ahead and say put black paint in here, and then you could leave this part just natural, or you could paint it another color. But if you seal this first, then when you go to put the black paint or a contrasting color in there, then you can wipe it off of the surface better, because it's going to be, you know, very difficult to put the color into the troughs without getting at least some of it on the face. So that's just my suggestion. So thank you so much for your purchase.